Okay, guys, happy Tuesday. Here we are. Oh, it's just afternoon for me here. I've got a good lineup here. Members have posted. I appreciate you guys. Well, let's see. We've got a couple of equities, some FX, crypto pair, indexes. Yeah, so we've got a good mix here. So when we start up here, first up, this is from PKS Avenda, very, very skilled Elliottian here, giving us a look at Zoom. Let me reset this. Well, this is the COVID story, straight up and straight down, right? If we're coming all the way back down per his projections, we're going to make a full round trip. Just an amazing rise and fall. But excuse me. Sorry, guys, allergies are just terrible today. Okay, so PK, this is well, of course, this is great looking work. And PK is I think he's level 2 certified, purple belt with us, right? He's a very skilled tactician. I am going to, now that we see this channel here and I understand why you're using it, I'm going to just hide it for a second here so we can just take a look in here. So this is demonstrating his skill set here. So we've got an A and then an WXY into a B. So we're getting the correction done this way. A, B. Oh, we're doing a triangle. Pardon me. I didn't see that. So we're going to go A, B, C, D, E. So we get our little triangle here to get our B. So it's A into the B. Now, what's interesting about that is if we take, let's do our pull here. I see how we look. All right. So now note, I am in log scale, right? So from the swing high, swing low, we're coming back to get a double top here. Well, it's interesting. We get a double top here, although that would have, oh, what would that have been? That would have been another 50. So we're 50. No, well, no, God, that's interesting. Just kind of seeing this. So 50 target. Now we kick back. And what's the kickback? Another 50, right? Where we get a double top in here for our B. Now, as we start to come down, 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's a little tricky down here. We've got to expand the B here to go A, B because we've got this clear impulse here. Now, you could have been thinking, right? Of course, the thought would have been A, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 1, 2, right? With the sell-off, we don't get that. So recalculating. We've got to deal with an impulse here. How do we fit it in? So A, B into the C, right? So we get the expanded flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. The implication is one more down here. We're going to come all the way full circle to when we hit the exchange. Quite the round trip. So let's take that off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's dig in there now. Here, I'm down on a 4-hour. I can't remember what you sent me. Yeah, I think you may have sent me something smaller. Okay, so we're going to go 1. This is nice work here. So he's got a sharp zigzag here, and I like noting that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives us a 3. So it's 1, 2, 3. Kick back for the 4. We're in between the 38 and the 50, right in the pocket here. And you can see it's already turning over. So he posted this yesterday, so he's likely already short. You're not too late here. You could probably, oh, if it was me, I'd work a put spread here. You could probably work this. Oh, you don't need to go too far here. You could probably buy the 85-80 put spread here. Oh, let's look over here. So you can go to D. You'd get 31 days here. So that you're not. I mean, the idea of a put spread here is that we define the risk, but we also define the maximum profit potential. So looking at that spread, you get that spread for just right around $250 per spread. So your max gain would be $250 per spread. Your max risk would be $250 per spread. So depending on your account balance and what would be appropriate to put into any one trade here, you might work up 1 lot, 5 lot, 10 lot. I mean, so the advantage of working in a debit spread, right, we kind of eliminate some of the complexity of options because we can kind of take the volatility play out of it. So we don't need to do a deep dive into all of the Greeks. I just think that would slow us down here. So we could just put on a put spread here, and you're essentially looking to double your money. So whatever you pay for that spread, if it maxes, you're going to double your money, which is not a bad return. So I don't know how PK is trading this, but if it were me, so notice we've had the little uptick here today. So, and we have earnings right around the corner. Where's the earnings? 22nd. So you're dealing with the potential volatility of earnings coming around the corner. So thus the put spread, I would propose to you is a better way to do it. because you don't if you get a surprise, you know, you're protected. Well, now that we look here, we've got a little up candle today, or at least the start of it here. We haven't taken this off. So this is actually ripe right now. So you could buy, I might buy the 90.85 put spread here. Oh, let's see. We've got this big gap here that the market may be working towards trying to fill. I suppose it would not be unreasonable to wait a day or two, since you've got time here and the market seems to be. No, we don't. Oh, we're kind of range bound today. We're at the lows of the day, though. That's how I would approach it. If you wanted to wait, you're just risking the thing taking off on you and going the other direction. So I think right here where he's got it, I think you're absolutely fine. What has he got? Anything below? Oh, got nothing but volume here. Yeah, I think you'd be, depending on if you wanted to take this trade, right? Assuming you're comfortable trading options and you're. You know what I mean by what I'm describing here with a put debit spread is very simple. Right? We're just going to buy at the money and we're going to sell one further away from the money. So pardon me. So let me make this very clear. So I'd be looking to buy, in this case, I'd buy a 90 put and sell an 85 put. So all you're after is that spread. Now, if you want to be a little bit more aggressive, you could probably buy the 85, but now you're slightly out of the money and sell the 80. It's just, either one of those is going to be, I think it would be fine, right? It's just a function of, okay, can we get short? Now, you're foregoing, right, all of the potential here. So, of course, the other thought is you could just buy the put, but now you're adding the additional risk here of the volatility that's going to come during the lifetime of that option. So if you're looking for an option with 30 days till expiration, you're going to have a week into it, you're going to have earnings. So the other possibility here was just wait until you get earnings. You take advantage of some of that volatility. You might see a spike, bring it up a little bit higher. Now, of course, we don't want it going a whole lot higher. Right? Ideally, in a 4, you don't really want the 618, right? And you'd obviously be paying attention to that 1. So the 50 is really where you want it. I mean, if you moved it up just a little bit, again, then you might be buying the 90 and selling the 85. You want to be a little more aggressive, buy the 90 and sell the 80, right? More risk, but more potential reward. So you got some choices there. This is just great TA, right? Sets it up nicely. We got a flat in the 4. I mean, a very clear position here where you'd know this analysis was invalidated here. So if we're going to overlap the wave 1, well, this is such a clear impulse here, right? I don't think you'd be looking to turn this into a diag. I mean, could we? I suppose we could go 53535 if we get an overlap here, but we don't want to go too far. All right, nice looking setup here. The only wild card is if you want to take this with earnings just around the corner, right? So that would be the only cautionary tale. Thus, the put spread would give you the hedge protection. So that's my thought there. Okay, so let's pause and move on. Pizza Man's got me a couple of FX pairs, so we'll be back in a second. Okay, guys, next up, this Pizza Man, he's interested in a long-term look at the dollar to the Chinese yuan, and so we're looking at it both here in the dollar as well as the euro. I'm just reading his comments. So we're looking long-term, and of course, he's got his own count on it here. We're just to kind of check in on that. This is a weekly count. This is some very fancy footwork here. So he's got us going A, and then we've got to do an A, expand the B into a C. But look at the beautiful confluence down here as we get that ending diag tagging the median line. Here's your median line. With the expanded B comes, boom, right into it. Just beautiful. Great. That's great, TA Pizza Man. And that gives us a corner here for both the channel. Well, let's see. Has he got another one on there? Yes, he does. Let me just put it in mine so I can see it a little bit better. Okay, so here's the next corner. So note the intersection of median line giving us a new corner here as we go up. So then we get that 80%. So it's 80% here, 80% here. Right. Best odds in trading. Right? Just trying to remind you of that. Now, so his thought here is that, well, this could be done here. If we're going to go A, B, C, then perhaps we start heading down. God, this is a bizarre. Bizarre. Okay, so A, B, C gives us our 3. We're a little beyond. This is his 100. So if I hover here, this is the 100. We've gone just a a touch past the 100. That's the 50 from the pivot. So we're right in this pocket here between the 100 and the 50, right where we're catching this. Well, so the trade potential here would be we're just starting down. So this would be 1. Perhaps we tag that median line 2, and then we're going to start to roll over. Let me get rid of that. Of course, along the way, we're going to have to deal with that golden zone, right? That potentially could take us back up here and finish this. If not, right, it would just take us up to 10. Well, let's see. Let me if I put this. Let me put that in mind, and we'll see it a little bit better. Right, so okay, there we go. So you can see here, here's the 100 and the 50. So if we're coming down here, we get a ping off of that golden zone, right? Because there's an algo is going to be sitting there. You can see, oh, that would make sense. Well, we've got a little structure here, right smack dab in the middle of all this. If we were to come down here and push up one more time, well, that would be the algo target. So now you'd be in between. Now, if you're taking this trade, are you going to sit through all of that? Probably not. Right, so this you might be a little late on the entry now to chase that short. So again, note we're on a weekly here. If this comes down and we ping here, I'd want to catch that next retracement, stop over the pivot, and try and come down that way. So this would be the range I was trying to get that short in. Yeah, at that point, I think you'd want to take a partial there, maybe be trailing with a stop. Right, depends on how you're trading this. If you're just right into the FX, reasonable spot to take a partial there. Maybe you get the free fall, but you can see the potential for this to be at least a pause on the way. Right, it's always just potential. Maybe you're coming down here, you 3, and you ping the outside of these median lines here 4, and then we're coming down for the 5. This is a nice looking setup, but I do think we're a little bit late to this one right now. Now I know I think he posted this yesterday. Yeah, so we haven't fallen too far, but you can well let's go down to an 8. You can kind of see a 1, 2. So it looks like you're just getting started here. So it looks like it's oh fuck, wrong one. Come here. Okay, so it looks like this is 1, 2, 3 potentially underway, right? So perhaps you're going to get a little retrace on the 4 where you could catch into that. Now see, once we get the first one, get off there. If we can get the first drive down, then we can lean in with a little bit more confidence. Okay, if I get that retrace right back into the structure, then I would be a little bit more aggressive. Right now, well, it looks like you're already in the 3. Now, note, I'm on an 8 hour here, so it looks like you're already in the 3 coming down. So you might just let that finish, retrace into the 4. Right now, we don't know what kind of shape that's going to take, right? You've got a little structure right here you could probably play with. Right, so a little retrace back to this, then I'd be looking for that to turn over and catch that move down. Again, this is where we were wicking off as potential target. There's the golden zone. Now, we don't know how far this goes. We don't have the force. This is all just conjecture based on, okay, this is certainly a reasonable path. If that's what we're doing. Tees up pretty nicely, right? Come right into that C. We're a little shy of the 50. So that's what would make you think potentially we'd come back, and obviously, right, this is going to be a function of, well, we've got a lot of financial data to be released between now and then. But on the path here, this looks like a good start. I think probably a little bit late to be jumping in now. So on the radar, certainly one to be looking for. Okay, so he gave it to us against the euro as well. So let's just peek over here on his count on the euro. There's some very fancy footwork in here, Pete. Man, it's good work. So A, B, C. So here's our first. So we're going to do it. God damn it. Come here. Okay, so we're going to do it W, X, Y, X, A, B. Now, are we done here? As he notes, this would be a truncation. So you could understand how you could potentially truncate down here as we're just coming back into these prior lows. So, you're giving it to me on a weekly again. Let me go to the daily and let's dig in there, see if that looks like a good finish, which it does. Oh, it's quite a kicker in the 5th. So it looks like you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't overlap. So extensions in the 5th. Now a little bit of a chop monster coming out of there. I am not in log scale. Looks like you might have one here. Looks like we have got a wick break there. Oh, I'd be kind of looking to see if we can find something that pings. Not bad. It's not great. Let's dig in there a little bit. So 1, 2. Here, let's label it. So we can get this done here. 3, 4, 5. Let's get that. We'll go minuscule, right? So we can see our nice little 5 to come down. Oh, shit, what are we doing here? This looks like we got a... I don't think we have a 1 there. It's a lot of overlap here. So maybe you've got a diag here? Whew, that's a lot of... Let's just see if we can do that just for fun. Looks like 1... You'd have to do, we might have to do WXY. I think you do. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like you got a 3. You're going to have some overlap here. That's not ideal. That's a bit of a cluster F right there. Well, clearly you've got the overlap here. So if this is, if we're going to do this, let's label it. It looks like you got ABC. So we go WXY into that 2. Let's bring this down. It's a little much. 2. Bring you up a degree. Okay, so we got, shit, doesn't matter. Okay, so WXY. Now I can't go 1, 2, 3, 4, right, because of the overlap. Can't put the 3 up there. Yeah, it's not ideal. Let's see if we can get you out of here. Is there, what are we missing here? Actually, we might be able to do it this way. So we might be able to do it this way and go 1, A, B, C, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, are we done? Now, that's a little bit of accommodating what's here. Right now, is that hopium? To accommodate the count? Possibly. Let's go down 8, see if that really looks clean. Well, there you go. You got a triangle there. So can we make this work? Looks like you could get a 1, 2 through. It's a little skinny there. 1. I don't think you got an A there, right? So I don't think you can do it. So you're going to have to go A, B, C into a 1. So you're going to have to work this as a diag. It's just as simple as that. A, B, C. So you're going to have to do a diag here, which does not help. Well, what that means is that if this, let's take if this count's going to hold, if that's 1 and we're going to go A, B, C, W, A, B, C, X, A, B, C, Y into the 2 here, this has got to be the 1 of the 3. Right, that's I mean, assuming this count's going to hold. Now, just for a little conviction, let's see, how'd we do here, right? Remember, when a 4, we're always looking for the 4 at the 50. It's not to the tick, but we're pretty damn close. I'm assuming I'm right there. That's a potential front run out of this consolidation. Now, we're not quite to target yet, but that's reasonable, and that gives you a little bit more conviction into this as a diag. So the potential here is for this to be 1, 2, 1, working on 2. So if we're coming in here, if that's done, we come back down here, this would be area of interest, right? So we've got the prior structure here. We've got the Vegas wave here. RSI looks like we'd be coming back. Boy, that's really squished down there. We'd be coming back down here, and perhaps we're going to come down and tag the lower end of that range here, so you get that energy potential, right, to take it all the way back up. So I'm going to take that up a degree. So let's go up to minuet. Let's put that in white. 1, 2, 1, 2. All of that, we got to come back here and look at the dollar. So I wanted to come back to this. I'd done a video where I featured this a couple of weeks ago, and the question mark was, what do we do with this overlap here? Right, we have such a good-looking impulse here. What do we do with this overlap? Well, it's always a bit of a judgment call, and so this is. So one thought is, okay, with the additional leverage of futures, we can allow for this little overlap here in the A wave here of this. Oh fuck! What are we going to do that as? I guess we're going to do this as a zigzag, because you can go 5, 3, 5. Of course, it looks like a flat. I mean, you could probably wedge a 3 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. But my broader point here, I don't know that it really matters. The broader point is my original mentor, the guy who really taught me, and we're going back a lot of years. He's still active. Still, he runs his company, and he's got a software product that. Is his own creation. Because I continue to watch what he's doing. His name is Robert Miner, if you want to look him up. Right, spent a lot of time with him in the early years of my my career in the markets. He's allowing for the A. Now, he was the first guy who really emphasized with me fibs over Elliott, right? So fibs are what you make your decisions on. And if the Elliott's there, trade it. If not, ignore it. Now, he's allowing for this A. So that gave me a little bit more confidence here because the C doesn't overlap. So this volatility, this, we hold it to the tick. And it cleans up the count so much better, right? We really don't want this to be 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, not wanting it doesn't mean it can't play that way, but I think this is a better looking resolution here. So the thought being, okay, if we're complete here, let's finish this here, even though I know I spent a lot of time on that. We're in that pocket here. Well, there's our algo target. Now, did they trade it off the 50 here? 1, 2. All right. They're not going to care about the Elliott count. Do we have something here that would play based on how they approach the market? There's the last pivot up. 50, the golden zone. It's a judgment call. But if we are starting to come down, we know we have a reasonable target. Or if we're starting to come down, where's our target? Same spot, right down here. Ideally, our target would be right here for this to play as a 2. So what's potentially here being implied? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the A, B, C. All right, that's the Fed's going to have a lot to do with how that plays. We just dropped right into a demand zone. So there we go. Okay, so I don't want to spend too much time there since we got a lot to cover here. But so for Pizza Man's longer term look at the dollar to the yuan, kind of consistent with that same thinking, right? Where's the dollar going? Are we rolling over? You can see how this could kind of play together with what we're seeing there. Okay, guys, there we go. So let me let's thank you, Pizza Man, for that. So I'm going to pause and be right back because we've got a crypto pair. Back in a second. Okay, finally from Pizza Man, we've got his Chili's to the what are we doing? Dollar tether. Let's scrunch it up here so we can get our history. 1, 2, 3. Whew. Let's see here. Let's go to... Yeah, you're kind of stuck with it, aren't you? Let's see here. Can we wrestle that 2 in any lower? No, I don't think we can. We're kind of stuck with that 1, 2. Boy, the 2 to the 4 is kind of gnarly. I think we're stuck with it. Oh, we're just out of curiosity here. It looks like he's... Oh, that's going to be a 50, right? So it looks like he's already got that. He does, right? So his colors are just different than mine. So to a 50 for the 4. Now, note we are in log scale. This is one of the few. Actually, I would beg to differ, Pizza Man. This is not like many other alts. This is one of the few that didn't get absolutely crushed. So Chili's looking a little bit better than many. So if from the 4, if we're going to do that, well, we'd be just putting in the 1, 2. So we'd be working this as here's the 4. We get an impulse, right? Very clear. The A looks solid. This is kind of interesting, but then we just free fall for the C. But note here, we stay at the 50 again. So we're getting a little bit of a a little chop around the 50. We get essentially the same thing here, right? We're coming down to that. Here's his 50 right here. A little bit of a chop around the 50, so we get a corner pocket, right? Not a golden, but we do get a golden. So per this count, we're working on the 5th, so there's the 1. Here's the 2. Now, can we get a 3 out of here? Well, wouldn't that be remarkable? That'd be great for anything in crypto to be rallying right now. Bring some conviction back in. So let's start grinding down. Let's go to a 4 here and see how this looks and get some insight into what he's thinking. So we're down for the 2. So this is a candidate for the 2 right here. Well, let's take that up a degree so we can see it a little bit better. Let's go to minuet. Okay, so we got a 2 here. 1, you've got a candidate again. I got an impulse here. I can work a 3 into this, but this is right. Do we have that starting? Here I'll just hide that. Okay, so 1, 2, working on 3. Or are we just going to do an ABC here and have to put in a deeper correction or potentially invalidate this count? Right? We can't hold a 2 here if we break. Well, this is hard to call. I like your thought here, but you didn't quite get what you were looking for today. So let's bring this over here. Looks like he may already be long. 1, okay, might be a 2. Right, so we've got 2 counts in here, kind of side by side. It's either an A or a 1. He's got a W. This is nice. Triangle into the X. We finish with the B here. So, pardon me. Or it's either B or 2. 1, 2. That's thin. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I've got a potential impulse here. 1, 2. Oh, looks like we're going to go 7, 8, 6 here. Shit, I can't see. Looks like we're going to go. Oh, just a little bit bad. So it's hard to tell. These colors are different. So I've just got wicks going to golden zone here. So we hold, actually. The algo holds. Gets first target. So 1, 2. Well, if so, we're going to have to consider that. That's not it's too big. Looks like that's your 1 right there. I love the 2. Well, that's the 1 as we sit here, right? This potentially could change. It's not a great looking 1. Push that just for a second. Okay, well, if that's the Y of the 2, and that's a 1, A, B, C, that ain't pretty. I guess you'd have to do it this way because you can squeeze it in there. Oh, Jesus, let's see. 3, 4. That's a bit of a accommodative impulse. Ah, shit, we're on a 30. Well, so maybe we got to push this. Hang on. We'll push this up here for our 1. Probably a safer way to play that. So if we overlap here, we got to rethink this as potentially an ABC, which is his alternate count. So if this were the B, well, we could go into some sort of a diag here for finishing here, but it seems to be coming down rather hard here as we look at that 30-minute. We're getting some pretty good correction now. So the broader indexes have had a little sell-off. Looks like NASDAQ went with it. So you're probably getting a little sympathy trading here. I don't think it's ripe just yet because this is too squirrely. What do we got here? That's not a great looking 3. Are we trying to go 1, 2, 1, 2? Can't say I love that. This is just shaky on the 1. I don't think this is ripe just yet. I see the thinking here that we go a 1. Oh, shit. Maybe we can do this. Work this as the 4 and the 3 here. 4 here, 5. So this would be the 2, which I think is what he's got. It's hard to tell. With it. It's a little easier for me. If this is the 1, and he's trying to trade into the 2, well, then it would start to make a little more sense here with his setup. And it almost wouldn't matter depending on what you were looking for in terms of targets. If it's A, B, well, is this 1, 2, 1? We've already we can't go 1, 2, 1. Pardon me, 1, 2, 3. Right? That's not an impulse. Well, it's not a good enough impulse. 1, 2, 1, 2. Maybe. So to take a small position here in the middle of all that structure, I wouldn't. I don't think that's reckless. I think you may be shooting a little high here. I'd probably use that pivot as a target here. You try if this is 1, 2, well that would be 1, 6, 1, 8 approximately for a third. See how we looked here. I think this we break. Even if I go here, no, we hold actually. So 1. Problem is this doesn't look particularly good. I might be on hold here. This would definitely be very top of my watch list for something that, or let me rephrase that. Put it in the top 5 on my watch list. Pretty much you're starting to see we're a lot of interest in DeFi. So this would be right in line with that. But boy, you're right. If you just kind of isolate it and say, okay, where am I here? Kind of in a chop zone here now. If we start coming back in time. Okay, so now, look here, we're just right. Do we have an edge here? You're just right into all that volume. Right? We can just look at the volume profile here where we got no particular edge, I would suggest. Can't tell if it's ABC or 1, 2. This is you know, we're a little bit of hopium here. Okay, let's be hopeful. 1, 2, but it's an ugly looking start there. So there may be more here. I think I'd be on. I'd be watching closely, but I don't have enough here to say, okay, yeah, I see it. I'm not saying don't trade it. I wouldn't trade anything with size here. You know, if you're going to trade with leverage, you know, be sure to have a stop on it. Right? It kind of goes without saying these days, but I wouldn't risk a lot there. Right? If you're going to dabble in there, keep the size light. You know, leverage, that's up to your preference. But I wouldn't give this a lot of room. But you know, take a little. I wouldn't swing for the fence, but you might get a trade or two out of that, right? It's kind of up to the individual. You're going to have to be watching that pretty closely. All right, let me, I've got, I think that's it from Pizza Man. Okay, I've got Koki up with BNB. Okay, back in. Okay, so next up, I've got Senpai Koki here, which, for those of you who know, that's our reference to a sensei in training. I mean, we say it that way, right? So he's on the team, and he helps out. He's working closely with us on developing the next version of our website. And he's building up his TA skills here. And what is Koki now? Purple belt. So, but it's very nice looking count here. This is, so we're coming 1, no, we're going to go 2, and then 1, 2, 3. So let's mark this off, this 1 here. Pay attention to that. Now note, we are in log scale. So Binance Coin to the dollar tether has sustained fairly well. Right, again, it looks different in log, right? Obviously, but given the range, right, it's very reasonable to be looking in log. So, I guess it just looks about right. 1, 2, 3. You know, here. Sharp sideways, right? So the alternation is good. I like the set of median lines here that he's got on it. Now, that being said, I'm going to hide that just for a second here. So let's take a look here. So we got to consider the alternate, Koki, that we've got probably one thought is we've got a W in here. We've gone X, and now we're going to come deeper for the Y. I see you're trying to work this as a. Yeah, I get it, right? And yeah, and you posted this yesterday as well. 1, 2, you're trying to go 3 into the 4, down for the 5. Well, of course, it could play that way. It certainly could. Let's dig in there. That's the weekly. Let's get out of the daily, take a closer look at that. Oh, man, you went really small on these. Let's go up a little bit. Does that really look like what we've got here? The A looks good. B looks good. Boy, that's the part that I'm struggling with a little bit. See, if you're going to finish it here, you're going to have to pull a 1, 2 out of here, 3, 4, 5. I might be more inclined to go that direction, Koki. So let's work it. Oh, shit. Doesn't matter. That way. Here, I'm just going to clean the whole thing up. So this would be the alternate, right? So I'm not saying that what he's got is not right. But for the alternate here, I think we might be looking at something like this. So just to flesh that out, A, B, C. Let's go micro. Let's put these, here we go. So candidate. Oh, well, first thing I'm going to check is that one. Then I'm going to look back here. All right, it's between the 50 and the golden zone. Reasonable spot. So candidate for the X, right? And he would know this. Right? That would be an alternate that we could consider. That's obviously the thought being, okay, we're going to get a 3 coming out of that. Now, you were projecting this without even having a start on it, but that would be the proposed setup here. Oh, you already have it. So let's do wave 4. All right, so somewhere in this range here from the 2 through the 3, looking for a 4. Here's the, well, you do have just a monster fair value gap right there. So right here, you might see a reaction there. That could play pretty well. You'd be in the pocket here. Let me shut all of that. I thought I saw you had imbalance finder. Yeah, you do. Oh, I probably have to fuss with those settings. But you can see the imbalance here on the daily. 2, 3. That looks pretty good. So I like this. So this would be, I think, watch list, right? For crypto. All right. Oh, just out of curiosity, how do we do here if we're thinking targets? Let's get that on. It gets a target in here. Now we don't have any of this. I'm just guesstimating here. We could do that. Bring it in for the 4. Sharp, sideways, complex. Well, there's some complexity here. Although I don't know. Well, I guess you could do it. That looks a little bit more like an ABC, right? Because this coming straight down. So I might change that on you, Koki, too. Right now, it doesn't mean I'm right and he's wrong. It's just that's what I see. It's just simple as that. Because of the free fall here, I think that's tougher to get that into a 3. A, B, C. So simple, complex. End up at the same destination. So does that matter? Probably not. Invalidation, well, start pushing up here. If that X has to go too high, I think you're probably fine right there. So for those of you that are comfortable on the short side here, I don't see any reason why you couldn't. Let's go to a 4-hour there. I'd want to see a little. I might wait for this to finish and then take the retrace. If it's going to play this way, which we can't have any real conviction about, but I'd be looking to trade this. I'd want to see this happen. I'd be looking to trade that. Now, all right, see the issue there. You come in like, well, I want to trade it now. Well, I get that sentiment, but you got to wait for these things to set up. So I don't think you're ripe here for a new trade to be going in, right? First, we'll look how far we've traveled here. I want to catch the retrace, right? I'm a retrace trader, so I'd be waiting. That kind of looks like some sort of, shit. What do we got there? Well, there's a 3. So you might have some sort of a diag here, but what? Jesus, that's not very pretty, is it? 3, 4. Well, you might have an A there, a B, and it's not pretty. I'll say that. A, you get a decent 3 there. Looks like you've gone 1, 2, and you're working. So you got targets down here for that C. Although this could be. Sure. Looks like you got a 1 here. You could go 1 and then into a 2 here. You'd be looking for 3, 4, 5 to get that down. Is that the setup you want here? I mean, I would be waiting. Right? This is very triangle-like. Oh, I suppose this could end up over here. A, B, C, D. Right, if we're going to have one more kick up here. So potentially, right, this holds, right, and you're putting in a B triangle. So A, B, C. This would be the D. We don't have the E, so you'd kind of be waiting for that last little kick up here, and then it comes down. You're trying to get this, but all of that's the idea being, I want this first one to complete so I can take the retrace, so I can take that with a little more conviction, and then a little bit more reveal from the market. So whenever we get a low here, this is the trade I'd be looking, right, as I was just saying. This is a little, what do you got there? Right, too soon to call it. So I see no reason to jump on that until I get a little more clarity on what we're doing right here. But it's the retrace I'd wait for. So definitely on the watch list. Good one, Koki. Thanks for posting that. Okay, let me, what do I got here? Okay, I got just a couple more, back in a second. Okay, next up I've got FashRef giving us a look at the S&P. Now, Fash he's a very regular and very profitable option trader. So he likes to trade traditional assets, and he prefers using options. This is his count on the S&P, and this is the trade that he's already off to a good start in here. So as we tagged that sell zone, he started buying puts. Now, he does this. Oh, I think he knows better, but he does it. So this is, I can't work with this, so I got to bring up mine over here. All right, so I know what he's doing. So where is he? here, right? So he works with cycles as well as all the TA that we've taught him here. This is something that he's incorporated into his trading. So I'm not a cycle guy, but I kind of get the gist. He and I exchange charts a lot, so I kind of get the gist of what he's doing here. I don't think you need to worry about that. This is my, oh shit, I got some things here. So I've got a super trend here, which is really, I'm just tracking the ATR range here and then a little RSI filter. So to get here, maybe I should take some of that off here. We'll hide that just as we look through what we've got here. So let's get the bigger picture here. What do I have to do? 8 hour? Maybe an 8 hour. Okay, so note I am in log scale. So let's label it up fully, right? So Jesus, come here. I shouldn't have, sometimes I don't fill it in because I feel like, oh my God, it's so obvious, but let's not make assumptions, right? I got traders and Elliottians of all different degrees here. So there's a 5, there's a 3, there's a 5. So we got a little zigzag into a W, A, B, C into an X. I got 5 down, I got 3 up. So you'll note here as we dig in here a little bit more and I get here, let's go to a 4 hour. So there's the A wave on the way down. Let's go up a degree or 2. Okay, so I got a nice looking A here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just as it almost looks, I can't script this stuff. Okay, so I've got a 3 here as a candidate for the B. Now we've broken the golden zone, right? Duly noted. You'll note here that there is from a 50 here we go up and we tag that target, right? It's between the 65 and the 707. So perfectly valid for a D. Excuse me, for a B wave here. With our Elliott hats on, we've lost the sell side algo, but how are we going to get a new one? Well, this has to start, and the next retrace, we'll get another one on board. But for the time being, at this degree on a 4 hour, so we do. We do have closes, but yes, we do. Right, so we have definitely broken here. So this being off here, so you might look at it and say, okay, now what have I got? So, all right, so we know this algo got paid. This might be too deep. Hard to say. All right, might be a little front run. Interesting, golden zone 50, although when this got here, it was a 50. So as we go here, that's to the tick, right? Just a little bit of a kick to clear it. So good looking 1, 2, 3, you're gonna have to squish it in there. So a good looking B. So what's the thought, right? If that's the A, we're looking for 5 down. Okay, do we have the start on it? Well, it's off to a good start. So he was buying puts up here. I don't know. I think he just did outright puts rather than a spread. I prefer the spreads myself, but I won't argue with success. He's having a great year. So A, there's 3. So this is teed up for, geez, we're just getting started, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what we're after here. I mean, if you're an Elliottian, I don't see any reason to think otherwise. Leading diag into a 5-3 impulse. So the first zigzag, pretty solid. A, B, C into the X. If I'm not mistaken, that's a perfect tag. Now we have an unfilled target down here. So let's tighten you up a bit. You right on it, right? So that's ticker 2 into the golden zone. If I get you right on board, right? So surprise, surprise. If I'm not mistaken, we do it again right here, right? I mean, okay, right? So you see how this works, right? So we start here, then we get another one, then we likely have another one here. Actually, it's hard to see it for sure. That might be too short. All right, that's too much for a front run, so you're likely pulling. They're using something else. There it is, right? So they're using this little pivot here, golden zone, target, possible front run on that target, right? So it's just over. This is why when you hear me say things like they don't care if they get stopped out here because they get these trends, right? And they get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've seen 12 in a row, right? Don't worry, they're getting paid. So here's the B. So we're now, hey, can I get this Y down here? Well, let's just see how the start of it looks. Actually, we might have to go to a 15-minute. How's the start of this thing looking? 1, 2, 3. Well, we're just getting the ball rolling here. Wow, that's an ugly 2. Well, that's about all you got so far. 1, 2, 3, maybe. All right, just getting started. All right, a little upset today. When we broke here, this pivot, right? So there's your break of structure. Now coming back for that 4, all right, assuming we hold here. Now that's deeper than you'd like for that 4, although so far that's all wick. If we're going to overlap, you'd be looking for the 50 here, but there's the 1. So it looks like you're just getting a start on this. Although it's possible. Oh shit! No, that's a 5. I would hold right that. I would hold with that. If this is going to play this way, boy, that's a. Oh, that's the overnight. Clear on the 2. You got the nice little 3. So this is just a. I mean, you can squish a leading diag into that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be done, actually. We're kind of running out of room there. God, do I have to go to a 1 minute? Jeez, I hate doing that. Could we get that done? Boy, that's ugly. 3, 4, you can do it. So if we start to come back, boy, that is just ugly. Good God, that's ugly. No, I don't like it. Yeah, I don't. Right, so I would just be here because it's the 2 to the 4 would just be too far off. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays right here. So here it comes back when we're on the 1 minute. Let's go back to the 5. A lot of volatility here. Well, that's the advantage of trading with options, right? It's a little more forgiving. So if this is going to hold, as an impulse, and that's a shaky 1, 2. I mean, we're getting lower lows, right, and lower highs, but that's not great Elliott structure. It'd be interesting to see how far that goes. Do I have anything below? I don't. You definitely would not want to see that. You'd be rethinking here. So thus the advantage of working with options is that you get it's a little more forgiving, so you don't have to nail the timing quite as accurately as you would in futures, right? Because you wouldn't be able to hold. And certainly you wouldn't hold it over. Well, I shouldn't say that. I wouldn't hold it overnight, not with the macro backdrop we have. So, but with options or a put spread or just straight puts, right, we diminish some of that threat overnight. But that all the more why I would do it as a put spread rather than just the outright puts, although he's done really, really well just buying puts and calls. I don't think you need to rush here until we see how this plays until the day finishes. Do we get one more down here so we could lean into we've got our start? This could be the 1. Shit, that could be the 1 of the C. I'd want to get that 5 done, and then start to be. Perhaps you get another chance here if we get if that 5 completes, and then we get a little kickback. That's the one I'd want, right there. So I might wait for that. That's the one I'd want to trade. We're not there yet. Okay, thanks, Fashra, for that. Be interesting to see. Right, tracking that. Plus, of course, we've got this massive fair value gap down here, right, when we took off of the news last week. So you can see how coming back down here, right, might be a target that would make sense. All right, I got one more. CN Salazar is giving us Velo 3D. I know that's one he's been trading. So let's finish up right there. Okay, we'll finish up. As I said, this is CN Salazar with Velo 3D. This is when he's posted this a few times, so it must be one he's trading. Okay, so the premise here is that off of this low, we've got a 1, and we're working on the 2. Oh, I'm going to hide just a little bit of this so we can see a little bit better. Nice tag here. Do you see this beautiful? Let's get you here. Right, so let's tighten that up. Right there. We'll be right on it. Okay, so now it's not quite as good. What came over, we were right on it. Let's make sure we're spot on. So we're coming up just a little bit short there on that edge. Note here we've got, looks like there's a close below, so it looks like we have a break there. Oh, that's mighty close. Can you guys see that? That's kind of hard to see. Let's go here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, you know, CN, the variable here, if this is going to hold the way you've got it, which I think you're on the right track, but I think I would want to put this down a little bit lower, and I'll show you why. Okay, so unless are you giving me 2 counts here? Where'd you finish that? Right, so this is, where's your, oh, there it is. Okay, so you're going to finish it there. So this is your, what are we doing here? That doesn't look right. Okay, so I got something got askew there. Okay, so let's revisit this. Not to blow up your count here, but I think we can dig in there a little bit better. Okay, so I think you could simplify this. I think we could just do it if we're just a straight zigzag. B. Okay, are we done here? Now let's just take a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C into the B. Yeah, that looks like 1, 2. Yeah. So if we're done here, well, we got to do it as a diag. I can't say I love that, but let's just see how it plays on the fibs. If that's 1 through 3, or are we looking for the 4? Right at the 50. All right, we're not to the tick, but let's tighten that up. Right there, right there. All right, in the pocket, right where we leave a supply zone here. Oh, let's just double check our length. So if this is the 1. What did we get here? Right, in a diag, 27382 is most common. On the 3, so it starts to make more sense. A, B, C, A, B, C, B, C. Makes me think perhaps, right, you're going to get the extension in the 5th. So it looks like you could work this yet again if it's going to stay in a series of 3s. If that's A, B, C, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 could be that's A. Oh, shit, hang on. Could be that's the A, the B's going in, and we're looking for a C, right? So we'll get that median line. Hard to say if that's done. And that's probably too big. Let's bring that down here. Let's rotate our colors here so we don't get lost. Now, oh shit, here, let's go down here a little bit more. Just out of curiosity, let's go to a line chart, see if that clears up. Not much improvement. It's a little choppy off the start. How do you call it? Let's get you right on that edge. Now wait a second. Now maybe we've got it here now that I've tweaked that a little bit. Oh shit, here I'm taking too long. Hang on a second. Let's get you on that pivot. Okay. That we might be getting it there. Okay, so we got to recognize the potential for this to roll over one more time. So let's as we look at this as to where we are here. So we've got that target is in. So if this is a B, if this is going to be an A and a B, well, I'd want to pay attention to this, of course. Right? Got the 50 already. If we're going to go a little bit higher, well, I've got a supply zone there. Whoa. Shit, I don't know what you got there. What do you got there? 50 EMA looks like. Oh, no, that could be is that your God? Yeah, that is your God EMA. I always put that one in a bright white so I can't miss it. Okay, so here's your 200. Boy, if you could get that. Really, what you'd like to get here is if this is an A and we're going to go A, B, right? We want that, right? That's what I'd be looking for because that's where this could be in here. Certainly, right at the 50, and this could be just starting. This could be your one working on 2, right? So the very low risk trade there. get you done here. You could work that too, right? On the assumption here, we're not the pivots in, we're not going to overlap there. So yet again, that could be a put spread here that you might look at. Right, put spread would make sense there. RSI over, you're under the 200. You back tag the 50. The Elliott count would make sense. It would just be a big extension in the fifth, assuming that we hold here. A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. Well, what will be the tell? Well, if we get a retrace here, how do we do on the retrace, right? Is the buy side algo going to fight it? Well, here's what I can tell you. Something will fire there. Right, bring it back down. Good one here. All right, so earnings has come and gone. I think you, shit, what are we at? Let's go to 30. That sure looks like that you got a 5-3. You're probably ripe here for a decent put spread here. I wouldn't risk a lot. I'd probably do a 5-point spread, looking to double your money, but control the risk. So typically, I'd like to buy one at or just slightly in the money, and then just 30 days. Give me a little time. 1, 2. Look, we don't need to hit that target in a 5-point spread, right? But you can double your money, right, with limited risk. So I might buy one at the money and sell one slightly out of the money, so we're not worried about volatility. Time decay is equalized because we've got one long, one short, so that's the advantage of a debit spread. But something like that to bring it down here. Remember, right? 5-point spread, you double your money. And you don't have to risk whatever you're paying for that. I wouldn't risk, if it deteriorates in value beyond 50%, you just close it out and then reevaluate. Do you want something else, right? There's no reason to ever hold one all the way if it's going the wrong direction. Okay, guys, there you go. That'll clean it up here. We got about an hour of content here, a good mix of equities, a little bit of crypto, and some indexes, and kind of a good mix. Okay, guys, all right, we'll be back. I may feed a few videos out this week here as I see opportunities, across asset classes. But with that, we'll wrap it up for the day. As always, right, all of our details below the video here. Anything that you're interested in, any of our tools that we recommend are in that link bio directly underneath the video. Okay, guys, have a good one. We'll talk to you later.